Hi everybody, hope you're doing well. So in this video I'm talking about how can we increase our awareness, right? So I'll give you a simple example. There might be this much space, this much. The moment right before you're about to be angry and the moment you're angry. There's this much space and you're angry. Somebody triggers you and you're angry. Something happens and you're angry. But I'm talking about that space, just before you're about to be angry, when you're in the heat and the peak point of your trigger, when you're just getting triggered and you're angry. It's so quick. Now I'm talking about this point, right? Now that space is called awareness. So I'll give you a simple trick if you want to use it. For example, the next moment you're right about to be angry, try to be angry. You be aware. You ask yourself, why am I angry? Ask yourself, why am I angry? You increase that space by asking it. This space, you're increasing it. Ask yourself, why am I angry? It will be difficult at first. You'd be like, what's happening? And more gradually you do this, the more you increase that space into bigger. You ask yourself, who is the one that is angry? Me? My name is Ram, Sham, whatever your name might be. Who is angry? Are you angry? Is he the one that's angry? But that's just a name given to me. Right, now I'll talk to you about other things and I'll join all the dots about anger and this awareness, right? So let me stop that thing now. The second thing is about conditioning. We have to understand this. All of us are conditioned in one way or another. We are all conditioned. We all have this maybe social conditioning, and we are all running into this belief system. If I have to explain belief system in a simple way, think of this. There's a wall, right? There's a wall and there are things written, and those were written by great people so that you would have a good life and you would find yourself within yourself, not on the outside. But some clever people started a cult, and they said, if you don't believe this, you're going to this and that place. Fear, right? Fear. They created fear out of it. And that is belief system. And we believe it to be true. But there are some people who go beyond that wall, right? Now, to break that wall, you need to have a unity. And since we all have desires and we really don't care, most people, so there are few people who are like, no, I want to do this and I want to go beyond this wall. I want to go beyond this wall because I don't believe this belief, because it has been already decided by somebody else and I'm just following it. It's a pattern and I'm circling on it round and round. I don't want to believe this, right? To break a pattern, you must respond differently, and that is how you seek within. So now everything that's happening into your life is either, like, if you connect the dots, if you think everyone you talk to someone talks to you, you're talking to someone, most of you are running in a pattern, in a habit, and it's causing due to societal conditioning or conditioning which was fed into you by a childhood, the kind of upbringing that you were brought up with. Your father or mother said, this is, you have to be this kind of person, you have to do this, you have to do that, restriction, whatever your story might be. But there is childhood trauma in everybody, and we have to know it, right? Because like I've said before, who you are is an idea. You can never really know who you are because it's an idea. For example, I'm talking like this, and for example, my idea is that I'm talking spiritual, so I'm a spiritual guy. But if I make my idea my whole identity that I am a spiritual guy, and I start to wear the dress which represents me as a spiritual guy, and for example, I like to smoke cigarettes, And now that I have an identity that I'm a spiritual guy, I don't smoke, and I have to lie to myself. I have to, suppress this emotion. I have to suppress my urge that I should not smoke. I'm lying to myself, and lying to yourself is the worst thing that you can ever do, right? So I'm suppressing that urge, and if I smoke and somebody sees, they're going to be like, what kind of spiritual guy you are? You're this and that. It's their conditioning talking, and it's your conditioning reacting. You see, the self is at the back observing, and what is the transaction or the word which has been, like the conversation is happening between the belief system, conditioning. It's not happening between two people. I hope you really understand this. So now what can you do is, the first thing is, if you want to heal, you have to know where the wound is. And the wound is at the back, childhood. It's not that not everyone has a childhood trauma, but there is some kind of things. You have to know it why you're here. Even if you have no traumas or no bad things, you really have to go back and see why you are the way you are, why you think the world is this, why you think this is everything, why you think money is everything, why you think peace is everything. You have to know your conditioning and what shaped you into your life. You have to go back. You have to know yourself. You have to go back. And since then, you had nothing. You were a happy kid. And then there were belief system put into you. Somebody says, this is wrong, this is right. See, these are masks. Everyone has been putting a mask. And when that mask becomes your whole identity, that's when the problem is, right? For example, I'm a spiritual guy and somebody says, oh, you spiritual person should do like this. He or she should be like this, act like this. And you go and be angry. Why are you to tell me? And you're fighting. These are all masks. And the more layer you put within yourself, the more you suffocate. The more it's harder to breathe. Why? Because you are putting mask after mask. You're putting after conditioning after conditioning. You're putting yourself into belief after belief after belief. So like I've said, when you know yourself, it's not about gaining more things. It's about losing everything you think you know. I'll say it again. It's about losing everything you think you know. Even the idea and identity of yourself, you have to all let it go. And when you create that space, like I've said, there's awareness. When you pray, because it is blocking awareness. Somebody's triggering you. Somebody's saying, yeah, you look like a girl. You have a long hair, and you're triggering. Why are you saying a girl? I'm a guy. You want me to show my, that I'm a guy, not a girl. That's your idea, like your idea of spiritual guy and your identity that I'm a spiritual guy, and somebody is getting triggered and triggering me. There's no awareness. It just happens. But if somebody tells you that and you're aware, why is he or she telling me this? It's their belief system. It's their conditioning that guys should have a short hair and men should behave like this. You be aware, and you know what you do? You neither suppress those emotions, like I'm gonna hit you afterwards, or you react to it. What do you do with emotions? My Guru said, you have to feel your emotions. You can feel your anger, but you cannot be angry, because anger is a poison. It destroys everything around you, and at the end it destroys yourself. But if you suppress it, it's gonna come out in some other ways. When you're not suppressing it, when you're not aware of it. And if you react to it, you know what happens when you're angry, right? So first of all, you have to go back and know yourself. What was wrong there? You have to break your conditioning, your belief through your experience, through the knowledge of the self. Right? People think that I go to forest, I wear this, I do something and I feel great. That's great. But you know where the real awareness test begins, the meditation of what you're doing for all these years. It begins when you're late for work and you have to submit a project, and it's very important, and you're stuck in traffic. That moment when you're stuck in traffic and you have to submit your things, and it's a very important day, and you can't be late. that is when your true meditation begins. And that is when this awareness, how big or how expandable your awareness is, that is when your real test begins. Because anyone can go into the forest, close your eyes, and in the peaceful sounds of nature, I feel good, I'm not good. Anyone can be that. But can you be aware when you're in the forest in the middle of chaos and increase your awareness? Can you do that? So this is all about expanding your awareness. And I've said you have to go back, break your conditioning, break your belief system, everything you were taught to be true through your knowledge. Because knowledge can be shared, but not wisdom. Wisdom is for you to experience. Knowledge becomes wisdom when you let it go. When you think it's my knowledge, I know everything. That is an ego. Like you said, I know everything. Your idea of knowledge now has become your identity. The self of whoever you think it is, he or she thinks that this is me, the body, the guy with the long hair who thinks he knows. It's not. Thoughts are frequencies. Thoughts are vibrations. Everything you see is a frequency, and everything is vibrating. And the universe is inside of you, not outside. Outside is a projection of who you think you are. Outside is just a projection. I see a tree, I name it a tree. Why? Belief system. So you have to go within yourself, and you have to know yourself. I've been saying it over and over and over. You have to break your identity. You have to break your mask through belief, conditioning, and that is where you truly experience real things. Now, let me talk about increasing awareness. Why? Because when you heal yourself, then you allow space, right? Otherwise, you're just react. I told you about this. Is because you cannot just be aware. You have to let go. If you want to clean something, you have to clean something dirty. You have to throw away all the dirt and keep it clean, right? If you want more space, you have to let go of the things that you don't need and the things that you're holding on to if you want to move, right? So this is it. You have to delete, kill, whatever you want to do it. Discard your conditioning, discard your belief, and know yourself through experience. And now, when that happens, I'm joining the dots. Now you can increase that small space into a big, until you increase that space everywhere, and you realize everything is one. The God, you call it Shiva, whatever you want to call it, it's in everybody. It's inside my dog, inside me, and that is the power source of it. I see my dog as differently and I am differently. It's because of the vessel. And I make it more complicated here. It's because of my conditioning. Because I think I am this and I'm conditioned to it. I hope you really understand this, right? And the next thing what you can do is about thoughts. Let me also talk about thoughts. We think that we think something and we work accordingly. For example, even if I put two people into heaven, one of them is going to be another is going to be problem. Oh, when I have to return home, my wife is going to kill me because I'm in heaven now. I haven't told her. You see, your physical body might be here, but thoughts are the frequency in which you vibrate. You download it. God is a frequency which is everywhere, like the radio signal, right? You are like radio. When you tune into that frequency, you download it. So the thoughts that you are thinking, you are not thinking. You are tuning into it. You are vibrating into that frequency and you are downloading it. For example, there are two people who vibrate into same frequency of, let's say, God. They're experiencing God or downloading some things or knowledge, right? But one of them downloads it very good and interprets very nicely or understands or have a good experience. Other person cannot. Why? It's because of the belief system. That is why I've told you about belief system. That is why I said you have to let go of your belief system. You have to discard the belief system. You have to let go of that suffocating mass of belief conditioning, and you have to go within yourself and know yourself. So like I've said, every thought is a frequency. And the more aware you are, you become aware of what kind of frequency I am in. You suddenly have bad thoughts. You're in that frequency. You have to increase your awareness. You have to go up. Even right now, I am vibrating in a frequency of knowledge. I don't know this knowledge, right? The guy who's talking to you, I'm downloading it because this knowledge is everywhere. I am a medium. I am vibrating on that frequency of knowledge, and I am downloading that knowledge, and I am interpreting to you, translating it to you, so you can listen and understand. It's a real beautiful thing if you understand it. That is why you have to increase your awareness, and it's a 24/7 process, right? It's a 24/7 process. You have to be aware always. It's not like, oh, I'm being aware of awareness. I'll talk something out of some other knowledge too. Like some people say, oh, when I was meditating, I was aware of my awareness. You cannot be aware of your awareness. It's impossible. A sun cannot be aware of its heat and light. Why? Because the sun is the source of heat and light. Sun is heat and light itself. We are like that. We are God experiencing as human beings because we are here to experience, but due to our belief, due to our conditioning and other things, because they create desire and fear in us. That's why we repeat this cycle. Right? And you have to know yourself. You have to know yourself. That is the only way. That is the only way. You have to know yourself. Experience yourself. You might know everything of the world, but you might not know yourself, and that would be the greatest loss you've ever had. What is the point of knowing the world when you don't know yourself? So guys, know yourself, be aware, increase that state of awareness. Ask yourself every time, be aware of it. Every time you're angry, ask yourself, why are you angry? What is the reason? Is it my conditioning which is triggering me into react this way? And the more deeper you go, you ask yourself, who is the one that's angry? Where am I? Inside the body, where am I? Ask yourself, question yourself, know yourself. You'll find your own answers. Don't believe in anything. Know a thing to be true. Experience it for yourself. Right? Break that illusion of belief and conditioning through your inner light of knowledge, of experience. So I hope this has helped. This helps a lot of people if you understand this. And don't worry, you don't need to know everything at once. You'll know it if you have taken the first step. I'm sure you'll do it. But don't try to gain everything at once. Try to lose, lose 2, gain 1. Lose 4, gain 2. That's how it should be. At least according to me, that's how I've done it. Let go of everything, even the fact of yourself. Let it go. Surrender yourself to the complete absolute. And vibrate in the frequency of it. And download the things that you need. Be aware, increase your awareness from being angry to like this, to asking yourself, why am I angry? Who is the one angry? To smiling and feeling the anger. So yeah, that's it guys. I hope you've understood it, and I hope this helps. Take care of yourself and always choose peace of mind over happiness. Bye bye.